Hello all, this is Nael, and today I want to talk about something that has been bugging me out for a very long time, and I have to get that off my chest because this is the most disgusting and irresponsible lie of the 21st century, and conservative, liberal and leftist politicians alike shout it out over and over again, but it doesn't get more true, and I have to say something about that now. It's about the statement that we as a Western country, as Germany, cannot take every refugee who is coming to us. We can't take everybody in. Chancellor Merkel, for example, said this on her famous town hall meeting with the crying refugee girl, where she told, well, you know, I feel for you, I'm sorry for you, but, you know, we can't take everybody in. It's the way it is. The world is a bad place. We can't take everybody in. We can't do that. That is a lie, and it's a disgusting, irresponsible propaganda that I can't take anymore. And I will get to you with some statistics that will prove my point. From January to June 2015, 180,000 refugees, which is roughly 0.2% of the German population according to German officials, came to Germany. According to the DJI, which is the German Youth Institute, about 46% of all refugees are under 18, which makes it a 50-50 thing. Now let's assume that most of these children are not traveling alone, and that they can are actually matched up to households, like, for example, a father and his two children, or a mother, a father and one child, or sometimes two siblings with no parents, stuff like that, you know. So we calculate that per household, and the reason we do that is because the German welfare program called Hartz IV also is calculated by household for the overall expenses. So if we match them to households, we got about 90,000 household units to cope for. And if we would give every one of these household units the same amount of money like our welfare program Hartz IV does, which we don't, but if we would do that, this would be a total expenses of all refugees combined from 2015 so far, about 81 million euros a month. It sounds much, but it actually isn't. You know, we live in 2015, millions have become billions, it's not that much money, and you will see that soon. Now, these expenses, and I have to make an extra point for that, is assuming that these people, like it is at the moment, are not allowed from working. They are prohibited to make a living in Germany, so we have to cope for them over welfare. They have no option to provide for themselves, even though some of or most of the refugees have some kind of education, but we won't let them work. Now, let's take a moment and look at these 81 million euros a month. What kind of expense is that? I talked about this in an earlier video. The German army, the Bundeswehr, paid about 80 million euros for laser weapons, which is totally nonsense, and I made that very clear in the other video. But if you take that, if you cut that from the defense budget, we have 1 month to cope for the refugees. The G7 conference in Elmau earlier this year is estimated to have costed 360 million euros. That would be enough to cope for all the refugees of 2015 and all the refugees of 2014 for about 1.5 months. And now here comes the thing. Saving the banks in the global financial crisis has costed the German taxpayer an estimated amount of money of about 30 to 50 billion euros tax money. And that 30 to 50 billion tax money, if you take the lower end as the lower end, you know, the 30 billion as the base for this calculation, that kind of money would be enough to cope for the 700,000 refugees that came to us in the last 5 years for about 95 months, which is about 8 years. We could cope for the refugees that come to us, for people who are in need, who are desperate. We could cope for them for 8 years, but we'd rather save people that just care about their own asses and make a huge fortune out of the crisis. This is just ridiculous. I don't want to hear anybody making this stupid ass argument anymore. It's just ignorance, it's stupidity, and it's pushing away the responsibility from oneself, saying, well, we don't have the money ourselves, we don't have the money, we have the money. Cut the defense budget, put taxes to people that have to pay taxes, tax the rich, tax people who are earning money for doing nothing, and then you suddenly have a rich fund of refunding for caring for people who actually need it. And I think now it's pretty obvious that when you make that kind of an argument, when you say, well, we don't have the money to cope for all these refugees, you're either an uneducated dumbass or a racist bastard. These are the two options. You're either uneducated or you're an asshole. That's the both options you have. I hope I will get a lot of hate for this video from the conservative bastards watching. I hope that people will lecture me about how stupid I am about economy and how good and naive my heart is. But you know, I have the arguments on my side, I have the facts on my side. You can go nuts as much as you want. That doesn't make your argument more valid. I can just say one more. If you say we don't have the money to help all the refugees coming to Europe, and especially all the refugees coming to Germany, you're either an uneducated idiot or you're a racist asshole. That's the two options. Okay, this was it for today. For me, for Nael, for Neopolimatrix. See ya, guys.